The Dominican Republic is located in the Caribbean region, sharing the island of Hispaniola with Haiti. The official language of the Dominican Republic is Spanish. The capital city of the Dominican Republic is Santo Domingo, which is also the oldest European settlement in the Western Hemisphere. The country is known for its beautiful beaches, including Punta Cana, which is a popular tourist destination. The Dominican Republic is the second largest Caribbean nation by area after Cuba. The currency used in the Dominican Republic is the Dominican peso. The country has a tropical climate with year-round warm temperatures and occasional hurricanes during the rainy season. Christopher Columbus landed on the island of Hispaniola in 1492, making it the site of the first European settlement in the Americas. The Dominican Republic gained independence from Spain in 1821 and has since experienced periods of political instability and dictatorship. The population of the Dominican Republic is around 11 million people, with a mix of European, African, and indigenous Taino heritage. Baseball is the most popular sport in the Dominican Republic, with many players going on to have successful careers in Major League Baseball in the United States. The national dish of the Dominican Republic is sancocho, a hearty stew made with various meats and vegetables. The country is known for its merengue music and dance, which originated in the Dominican Republic and is popular throughout the Caribbean and Latin America. The Dominican Republic is a major producer of coffee, sugar, and tobacco, with agriculture being an important part of the economy. The country is home to several national parks and protected areas, including the Jaragua National Park and the Los Haitises National Park. The Dominican Republic has a rich history of art and literature, with many famous painters, writers, and musicians hailing from the country. The Dominican Republic has a high rate of biodiversity, with many endemic plant and animal species found nowhere else in the world. The country has a well-developed tourism industry, with many all-inclusive resorts and luxury hotels catering to visitors from around the world. The Dominican Republic has a diverse cuisine influenced by African, Spanish, and indigenous Taino cultures, with dishes like mofongo, tostines, and pastels and hoja. The country has a strong Catholic tradition, with many churches and religious festivals celebrated throughout the year. The Dominican Republic is a popular destination for ecotourism, with opportunities for hiking, birdwatching, and exploring the country's natural beauty. The country has a high level of income inequality, with a majority of the population living in poverty despite the country's natural resources and tourist industry. The Dominican Republic has a history of political corruption and human rights abuses, with significant challenges in terms of government transparency and accountability. The country has a well-developed education system, with a high literacy rate and a focus on STEM subjects in schools and universities. The Dominican Republic has a large population of Haitian immigrants and descendants, with tensions between the two groups leading to occasional outbreaks of violence. The country has a high rate of crime, with drug trafficking, gang violence, and petty theft being common issues in urban areas. The Dominican Republic has a diverse landscape, with mountains, rainforests, deserts, and coastal plains all found within its borders. The country is known for its colorful carnival celebrations, with elaborate costumes, music, and dance performances taking place throughout the country. The Dominican Republic has a well-developed healthcare system, with public and private hospitals providing medical care to residents and tourists alike. The country has a strong tradition of boxing, with many Dominican fighters achieving international success in the sport. The Dominican Republic is a constitutional democracy, with a president serving as both head of state and head of government. The country has a history of U.S. military intervention, with the United States occupying the Dominican Republic several times in the 20th century. The Dominican Republic has a vibrant art scene, with museums, galleries, and theaters showcasing the work of local and international artists. The country has a well-developed transportation infrastructure, with highways, airports, and ports connecting major cities and tourist destinations. The Dominican Republic is known for its rum production, with brands like Brugal and Barcelo being popular both locally and internationally. The country has a strong tradition of baseball, with many Dominican players achieving success in Major League Baseball and other professional leagues around the world. The Dominican Republic is a popular destination for destination weddings, with many couples choosing to tie the knot on the country's beautiful beaches. The country has a rich cultural heritage, with influences from African, indigenous, and European traditions all seen in the country's art, music, and cuisine. The Dominican Republic has a history of social and political activism, with grassroots movements advocating for human rights, environmental protections, and social justice. The country has a diverse population, with people from different racial, ethnic, and religious backgrounds living side by side in cities and rural areas. The Dominican Republic has a well-developed telecommunications sector, with high-speed internet, mobile phone service, and cable television available throughout the country. The country has a strong tradition of music and dance, with genres like bachata, salsa, and reggaeton being popular among young people and tourists alike. The Dominican Republic has a history of environmental degradation, with deforestation, pollution, and habitat destruction posing significant challenges to the country's natural resources. The country has a rich culinary tradition, with dishes like arroz con gandules, pollo guisado, and chicharrón de cerdo being popular among locals and visitors. The Dominican Republic has a history of political instability, with frequent changes in government and power struggles between different political factions. The country has a high rate of emigration, with many Dominicans leaving the country in search of better economic opportunities and political stability. The Dominican Republic has a well-developed financial sector, with banks, insurance companies, and investment firms offering a range of services to residents and businesses. The country has a strong tradition of folk art, with artisans producing ceramics, textiles, and wood carvings that reflect the country's cultural heritage. The Dominican Republic has a history of foreign intervention, with countries like Spain, France, and the United States exerting influence over the country's politics and economy. The country has a well-developed energy sector, with hydroelectric, solar, and wind power all used to meet the country's energy needs. The Dominican Republic has a high rate of alcohol consumption, with beer, rum, and wine being popular beverages among locals and tourists alike.